Welcome friends. This video is about quadratic function, the graph of the quadratic function and maxima minima of a quadratic function. Okay. So let us begin with the standard form of a quadratic function, which is ax square plus bx plus c. Why is it called quadratic? Because see, every term is having a constant and a variable, and the variables are having a power. So the power of the variable here is 2, here it is 1, and the highest power is called the degree of the expression. So the highest power is 2 here, so degree is 2, that's why we call it quadratic. Okay. Now a is the coefficient of x square, b is the coefficient of x, and c is the coefficient of c is the constant term, right? Now you would be aware, if I equate it to 0, then it becomes a quadratic equation. Before equating it, it was a quadratic function or a quadratic expression, right? And you would be aware of this formula, which is called Sridhar Acharya's formula of finding the values of x. So this is x is equal to minus b plus minus under root b square minus 4ac by 2a. So simply, if you get any equation, you can take the value of ABC, put in there and get the answer. There will be two values of x. Now, you would have seen I have written there, d is equal to b square minus 4ac. What is this d? This d is actually the discriminant of the equation. Now, it must be something important. That's why it has been given this name. So, the formula also is minus b plus minus under root d by 2a. See, this d tells us about the nature of roots. What does that mean? It will be clear. See, if this number d is positive, if this number d is positive, then you will get minus b plus root d and minus b minus root d. You will get two values, right? So this is the first case. If d is positive, there are two real and distinct roots, which will be given by the formula. Suppose d is 0. Okay. So this term will vanish. So you will get minus b by plus minus 0 by 2a. So plus minus 0 doesn't make sense. So you will get only one root, or rather I should say you will get one root which is real and equal. So if you say two roots, they are real and equal. So that's, you can say also there is one root. And if this d is negative, then you can't take the square root of a negative number. In that case, we say there is no real root. So d is important in that way that it gives the condition for two real and distinct roots, two real and equal roots, and no real roots. That's where d plays a very important part. Now it also plays a very important part in the graph of the function. Let's see. Now I have taken two separate cases when a is positive and when a is negative. So you can see, when a is positive, there are three cases, and when a is negative, again there are three cases. But what is striking here is, wherever a is positive, the graph will look like a U shape. Okay? So why is it? The explanation is, as the x value will increase, the x square term will increase. Okay? And because a is positive, so this term is positive, and x square value will be obviously more than x as x increases. That's why the more you increase the x value, the graph will go like this. And that is why in this side graph is going up. Also, if you decrease the value of x too much, still x square will be positive and a is positive, so the graph will still increase. So that's why it will come like this and it will go like this. And that is why when a is positive, you will have a U-shaped graph. But when a is negative, for the same reason, x square term will always be positive. But if a is negative, if I multiply x square with a negative number, you will get a negative number. That's why the graph will come from below, and after a point it will go down. So what you understand, whenever a is 0, there is no maxima, because maxima is like approaching infinity. So you can't say about maxima. So they will only ask you question of minima. And whenever a is negative, then minima doesn't make sense. Minima doesn't make sense because minima approaches infinity, minus infinity, and in this case they will ask you question of maxima. So the moment you see the question, you can actually predict. If A is positive, you can be asked question of minima only. And if A is negative, you can be asked question of maxima only. That will make sense. Now how to do it, okay? Before coming to that, let us understand the graph little bit, okay? So when D is positive, you will have two roots. So the graph will cut this is x-axis guys. So the graph will cut the x-axis at 2 points. When D is equal to 0, you have one root or rather two real and equal roots. So the graph will just touch it. And when D is less than 0, the graph is always positive. So there is no real root. So what is this case? This case is like the y is always positive in this case. You can see here y is sometime positive, sometime negative. Here if y value is greater than equal to 0, and here y is always positive. You can see from the graph. So you can see what is the condition, y is always positive. If you have a greater than 0, d less than 0, y is always positive. Okay. Now let's come here. If a is negative, again you can see there are two real roots, so it will cut at 2 points. If a is your if d is positive, that was, and a is negative, and this is like if d is 0 and a is negative, there is one real root or rather two real and equal root. In this case y is either less than or equal to 0, and in this case y is always less than 0. When a is less than 0 and d is also less than 0 in this case. So these are 6 possibilities, there is no other possibility, right? Okay. Now coming to the formula. We'll have 3 different approaches, but let's learn the formula first. So whether it is a maxima question or a minima question, you know when it will come, right? Maxima question will come in this case and minima question will come in this case. So whether it's a maxima question or minima question, the answer will be, it will occur at x equal to minus b by 2a, okay? Whether maxima or minima, it will occur at x equal to minus b by 2a, and the maximum and minimum value. So at this value of x, y will be either maximum or minimum. But what is that value of y? That will be given by this. So y is equal to minus d by 4a, to remember, to make it easy to remember, and you can put the value of d also. So d will be your b square minus 4ac by 4a. Now I'll solve a question and explain to you how this can be done, right? So this is the important formula which you need to understand, and I'll tell you how this formula also comes. Okay, so not a big problem. Fine. So I'm erasing this for now. Now let me take a question and solve it in 3 different ways. You can obviously do it by formula also. So the question is, we have to find the maximum or minimum value of x square minus 4x plus 11. Okay, x square minus 4x plus 11. Find either the maximum or minimum value. Okay, so as you can see, in this case a is positive. Okay, in this case a is positive. So graph will be like this. So should I ask a minima question or a maxima question? Now you can create the question. You can predict the question. You can see that because a is 1, so a is positive. So obviously it's a minima question. Now minima will be at x is equal to minus b by 2a. So it will be at x is equal to minus, and what is the value of b here? Minus 4. And a is 1. So minus minus plus 4 by 2. So minimum will occur at x equal to 2. And what will be that value? So that will be, minimum value will be minus d by 4a. That is minus, and d is your minus is your b square minus 4ac. So b square is nothing but minus 4 square minus 4 into a into c. Let's calculate, and by 4a, so 4 into 1. So you will get minus of 16 minus 44 by 4. So you will get, this is minus 28, so you will get 7. So I got both my answer. Minima will occur at x equal to 2 and the minimum value will be 7. So this was the first method using the formula. This was the first method using the formula. Now let us see the another method, second method, what I can do. So what we can do as another approach here is, so the question is like this: x square minus 4x plus 11. So I can complete the square. I can simply say this is x square minus 2 into 2 into x plus 2 square plus 7. So if you see, this is like a square minus 2ab plus b square. So this is like x minus 2 whole square plus 7. Correct? Now see, you can see that this term is either 0 or more than 0. So it is 0 or positive. It is never negative. So minima will be, when will minima will come? When this term becomes 0. And when will that happen? Minimum will be when x minus 2 equal to 0. So x equal to 2. And what is that minimum value? Simply put x equal to 2 into this. So minimum value will be, if I put x equal to 2 into this, I will get 0 square plus 7, which is 7. Okay. So this is called completing the square method. Okay. Completing the square method, where we just complete the square like this. So this is your second method. This is your second method. Okay. And that formula that I told you, how it will come. See, it comes by Sridharacharya's formula. When you complete the square, it comes from that only. So maybe in this scope of in this video, it will be difficult to cover, because I want to tell you something more. The third approach, right? Which is something like this only, but it is very important concept wise. So let me cover that. So you saw, you can predict the question, when minima will come, when maxima will come, and you can find it very quickly, right? Now, third thing is, before we go there, can you see one thing? This is your roots, alpha and beta. These are your roots, alpha and beta, okay? And in this case also alpha and beta. So a quadratic function is symmetric, okay? Quadratic function is supposed to be symmetric. Symmetric means, this is the minima. And you can see the roots are equally at equal distance from minima. Okay. So the minima will come exactly in the middle of alpha and beta. The minima will come exactly in the middle of alpha and beta. Also the maxima will come exactly in the middle of alpha and beta. So I am calling it the third method, and I don't think you will find it anyway. So it's a very nice way to understand. So I know that sum of roots is what? Alpha plus beta. Sum of roots is minus b by a. So these are our roots, right? Minus b plus this by 2a, minus b minus this by 2a. So my roots are minus b plus that by 2a and minus b minus. So if you add that, you will get minus b by a, okay? So if I want to get the middle point, so this point will be alpha plus beta by 2. So alpha plus beta by 2 is equal to minus b by 2a, and that is why minima comes at, or maxima comes at, minus b by 2a. Now I have derived the formula also. I have not used Sridharacharya's formula, but just by logic and symmetry we have derived the formula. So if I use that concept, let me solve the question. So x square minus 4x plus 11 equal to 0. Let me find alpha plus beta. So alpha plus beta is minus b by a, which is minus of minus 4 by 1. So minima will come at x is equal to alpha plus beta by 2, right? Minima will come at alpha plus beta by 2. That is the concept I am talking about. So minima will come at x equal to alpha plus beta by 2, which is, it will come at, this is 4. So minima will come at x equal to 4 by 2, which is 2. And what will be the minima or maxima value? I will just take this value and put in the equation. So in this equation substitute 2 square minus 4 into 2 plus 11. Just take this value and put in this equation. So you get 4 minus 8 plus 11, which is 7. So either you can use the formula to solve, or you can complete the square, or you can simply remember minima or maxima, it comes at alpha plus beta by 2 because of symmetry. And once you get that value of x, you can always get the value of y. I hope this was useful because we learned a lot of things. We learned the formula, we learned about nature of roots, discriminant, we learned about different possibilities of graphs. We also learned about the condition when y is always positive and when y is always negative. This is the condition when y is always negative. Okay, and we learned to solve minima maxima question in 3 different ways. Okay guys, so I hope you had a good learning today. Let's continue it in the next video. Thank you.